All right, everyone, welcome back. This is part 2 of our visit back to Tengosed Seamount. We just wrapped up a little collection there on the side of this hill, cliff, somewhere in between, slope. And we are down for another few hours, I think, on this dive. But just had to reset the stream. Glad everyone is finding us again. And we're going to keep exploring.
Bueno, estamos en nuestro número 13 buceo de la expedición de Octopus Odyssey. Hoy estamos transmitiendo desde el monte submarino Tengosed. Y ya estamos finalizando lo que son el buceo de hoy. Tenemos todavía unas 2 horas de observaciones, así que los invito a participar en el chat si tienen preguntas, tanto en inglés como en español. Seguimos viendo en este sector algunas lavas de tipo pillow, algunos también vemos bloques de lava. Estas más quebradas, por ejemplo, son tipo bloques que han caído posiblemente desde la parte más arriba. Entonces también vemos un tipo de que le llamamos coluvios de lava y este tipo de pillows, que son estas estructuras más redondeadas en forma de almohada. Entonces, muchísimas gracias a todos y a todas por estar esta hora conectados conmigo en la transmisión. Y ahora queda con el compañero Sergio Cambronero de la Universidad Nacional acá en Costa Rica. So thank you everyone to be with me this hour. So now Sergio Cambronero will be with you for this hour. So Sergio Cambronero is a researcher at the Universidad Nacional, National University here in Costa Rica. So bye bye and thank you.
While the scientists do their handover, welcome to anyone finding part 2. And if you weren't in part 1 and you're just finding us now, You are watching live footage from 1,972 meters below the surface of the ocean. This footage is coming from the remotely operated vehicle SuBastian, and the voices you're hearing are in the mission control on board the surface vehicle, research vessel Falcor 2. So right now, as you heard, Sergio's going to be jumping in over on Science Seat. Right now we've got Chill piloting and Tyler in co-pilot. My name is Alex. I'm in as data logger currently. I've also got Beth in here still watching. And Holly in the back there. And we are exploring Tengosed Seamount. If you've been following along with this expedition, we have been here before. We were here once before. We were here before and we found some skate eggs. In fact, quite a lot of skate eggs, a skate nursery. If you're unfamiliar with skates, they are related to sharks and rays. They kind of look like stingrays, but they are different. People get them confused frequently though. But we found a lot of their eggs and wanted to come back and investigate that nursery, look for more signs of venting of hot fluid up from underneath the ground here. And now we are continuing along. Tengosed, I can actually pull up a map because we've got a ways to go yet. A couple more waypoints. So let me show you where we are and then I'll hand it over to Sergio. Currently moving from waypoint 6 to waypoint 7. As we've seen in this area, there's quite the drop-off, a little slope there. And then we still have waypoint 8 up here. So a few more hours yet, and we're going to see what we see.
Thank you, Alex. Hello, everyone. I'll be joining you for the next hour. My name is Sergio, and I work at the National University at Costa Rica. And I hope you're enjoying the live stream. Y muy buenas tardes a los que nos escuchan en español. Mi nombre es Sergio Cambronero, funcionario de la Universidad Nacional. Y los voy a estar acompañando por la siguiente hora. If you have any questions, comments, please let us know in the chat. And we will be very, very happy to read you and try to give our best possible answer. We're currently in our dive number 13 at seamount called Tengosed. And as Alex was saying, this place is of particular interest because we have been seeing a lot of skate eggs. So apart from that, you see on your screen there are many creatures living around this area, and particularly I think about probably an hour ago, maybe 30 minutes, we were seeing little creatures like hidden in a cave. Yeah, and we are currently debating whether there are small fishes or arrow worms, which are also very similar creatures. So my colleague Maria, that was previously with you, just wanted me to mention that we're going to double check on that information and have a final word then once we have the samples on board. With me here in the control room, I have my colleague Holly Lutz from Scripps Research, and she's taking care of all the video annotations, which is a definitely very important task because, as you can imagine, we get a lot of footage, so we try to have systematic annotation framework to categorize and timestamp all of our observations. So let us know where you're watching us from. And again, if you have any comments, questions, leave it in our chat. And hopefully, yes, we will see more octopus. We saw, I think, about 3 of them earlier in the dive. And let's keep our eyes wide open, because we're also looking for any evidence of venting or shimmering water coming out of the ocean crust. We're starting to see some reports from Portugal. So good to know this live stream is being watched in another continent. Oh, pretty nice looking fish. Yeah, that's a grenadier, macrudid fish, which was pretty relaxed there. Now you can get a glimpse of its movements. We also see some reports from California and Oregon. A couple of people from California, Texas, and Nevada. So it is great to know that all of you are tuning in live, watching this amazing footage coming from the depths offshore the Pacific coast of Costa Rica. As we see this beautiful crinoid here on your left in a yellow tone, and an anemone also a very similar tone. Yeah, lots of worms. We're currently at almost 2,000 meters deep. Y para los que nos escuchan en español, les estaba comentando que anteriormente vimos hace como media hora más o menos unos avistamientos de unos animales muy particulares, muy pequeños, que estaban como, por decirlo así, suspendidos en un hueco, como en una cueva. Tenemos la sospecha de que pueden ser, por decirlo así, opción A, peces pequeños, inclusive que puedan ser larvas, o la opción B es que puedan ser ketognatos. Entonces, nada más para dejarles ahí esa clarificación, que aún no sabemos qué es, y es parte importante de que podamos colectar estas muestras, recolectarlas, perdón, y una vez que las tengamos acá en el laboratorio, pues vamos a poder verificar efectivamente la identidad de esos animales, que nos pareció muy curioso, ya que estaban como suspendidos, lo que parecía una especie de telaraña. Así que bueno, muchísimas sorpresas a estas profundidades. Y bueno, un gran saludo también a todos los colegas que se conectan desde Latinoamérica. Vemos saludos desde Perú, de Argentina. Y bueno, me encantaría saber si hay alguna persona que se conecta desde Costa Rica. Un gran saludo para todos y todas que nos están acompañando en vivo en esta transmisión. Vemos que hay muchísimos, todos esos que ven que son como estructuras blancas, son, por decirlo así, signos asociados a presencia de gusanos que ya sea viven ahí o han vivido en algún momento. Y así como pasa en aguas profundas, también sucede en aguas someras que este tipo de estructuras son muy importantes para también proveer a otros organismos con espacio para vivir. Muchas veces cuando estos gusanos, por ejemplo, mueren, estas estructuras son ocupadas por otros organismos. So we have some questions in the YouTube channel that how do skates find each other for mating? This is a very, very nice question. It is very important to note and to remember that we have very, very few observations of deep sea skates in their natural environment. Usually, the majority of knowledge is from specimens that have been collected from different campaigns, such as trawling campaigns. So usually we are able to know, and all the scientists that have been involved in the studies are able to know and draw conclusions from the specimens once they're back at the surface. So there's still a lot of things that we don't know, such as that question that you ask about how do they find each other and mate. And indeed, as other person mentions in the comments, and this is part of what we're actually exploring this site, the deep sea skates lay eggs that are also called mermaid purses, and we have been seeing a lot of skate eggs around this seamount here that is called Tengosed. So we believe this is probably the first deep sea skate nursery we have evidence in Costa Rica. So it's major thing for us, and hopefully we will be able to know more as we advance in this dive. We're currently past our waypoint 6 and we were heading over to waypoint 7, but there are going to be different little deviation from our original waypoint, trying to see if we can get more observations of this flat top in here at that as the one that you're seeing on your screen. Un saludo por ahí, veo que se han conectado algunos de personas de Costa Rica, particularmente algunos estudiantes que he tenido el placer de compartir en la Universidad Nacional, así que un gran saludo, pura vida, y espero que estén disfrutando esta transmisión. So we have another report from Boston, Massachusetts. And we have a great question here, that what animals might be typical living at this depth. but will be scared about the light and sounds of the ROV? So that's a great question. And well, hard to tell, right? Because we don't have the evidence because they might be scared again. But we do think that many fishes are fast swimmers, so they're able to escape and get away from the ROV. And also, we know from previous studies and literature that there are some deep sea sharks, not specifically at this location, but that might be another possibility that those are the type of animals that might be living around here, but that escape and get, let's say, away from the ROV SuBastian. There are indeed other animals such as squids that might be wandering around. So that's a great question. And this is a great opportunity to also tell you or note about the importance of ongoing innovations in deep sea exploration and research. And there are many technologies being developed, not only to improve our ROV observations, but also to have alternative methods that we can use to assess the animals that live here without uh, disturbing the environment with the light and sound. So we have lots of reports from many parts of the world. We have reports from the Philippines and from the Netherlands. So warm greetings to all of our viewers as we see this beautiful sea cucumber. Yeah, let me see. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Beth. So what we're seeing here is a sea cucumber, and at the left we have a type of squat lobster. Really cool, beautiful pink color. And of course, the main star of this area is this beautiful octocoral with a lot of furoids or brittle stars as hosts.
Is that diet based or?
I'm assuming, yeah. I mean, because the pigmentation comes from the diet and it's like more carotenoids, obviously.
We've been finding lots of those like spider crabs today too.
Yeah.
Lots. I don't know what that is.
See, I mean, this is, I don't know, but this is, you know, shallower. There's a lot more organic material shallow become available.
Yeah, I don't. Awesome, appreciate it.
So we're gonna keep exploring. We're currently at 1,974 meters, and it's almost 4:30 p.m. Costa Rica time. Oh, what's that? Is that a radar there? What's that? Yeah, it looks.
Not the radial arc.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, it's like concentric, right? Like a little orb. Oh, there you go. Now it changed its shape. Yeah. No problem. But Yeah. All right. Bye bye. So we're gonna keep our way exploring this area. We see a difference in the geological setting as our initial waypoints at the beginning of our dive. And this is part of the priorities for us here, trying to cover as much as we can and also trying to see us cover different places with different geological features. So those were some um, mushroom corals, I think, with some brill stars and a couple of sea pins. Yeah,
Chat.
nice.
J-Rod and I are both Texans.
That's cool. I just started yesterday a movie from a guy that goes to Texas.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
what's
really good. It's called Vengeance.
sounds right.
No, no, it's really nice. Actually, I was about to text you. Like, also like Texas movie.
Actually, I think that has family in Texas.
What?
That has family.
Oh, really? Nice. Yeah, I think she mentioned it at some point. So we have a lot of reports from folks tuning in from Texas. Special greetings to them. And if you have any questions or comments about what we're seeing here or any doubts you have about this expedition, feel free to put it in the chat, either the YouTube or Facebook chat, and we will be more than happy to read them and try to answer your questions. So we had some comments in the YouTube channel about the mermaid purses, aka the skate X, aka the mermaid purses. And I wanted to tell you that for me, uh, like I think it was probably like 7 dives before, when we got our one of the samples we collected was a couple of skate decks, and for me was the first time seeing a skate deck, so it was pretty exciting. Also to feel the texture, almost like a palm leaf, leathery feeling. So yeah, and apparently they might be different from the each species. As we see this beautiful garden of, what are these, sea pens? We have a very dense area of sea pens that they usually grow in this sedimented areas. And this sea cucumber also, um, which again is part of a group that dominates around these areas, the echinoderms. And I think that sea cucumber might look like a panikia. And the majority of these sea cucumbers are deposit feeders, so they look around on the sediment and feeding on all this sediment that has been sinking for years and years, and getting their nutrients out of the organic matter. And also good time to remind ourselves that all these sediments have been building up for millions of years, and before they get to the bottom, they are floating suspended particles that we call marine snow. So a really nice sea pen garden. Y acabamos de pasar un jardín de plumas de mar, que son esas estructuras que ven como de color blanco. Esos son un tipo de coral que es común de estas profundidades y que particularmente una colega a bordo, la doctora Odalisca Brady, las está estudiando. Eh, y bueno, fue un avistamiento interesante esta zona que acabamos de pasar porque había una densidad muy alta de estos. eh, no sabría cómo decir yo la traducción, pero bueno, en inglés les decimos sea pens. O sí, como lápiz de mar, una cosa así. Como ven, pues tienen esa forma como de un lápiz, ¿verdad? Y usualmente están asociados a estas áreas donde hay altas cantidades de sedimento. Y vemos por acá también varios reportes desde Costa Rica. Así que un gran saludo para todas las personas que están viendo esta transmisión en vivo. Nuestro buceo número 13. Y ya, pues, para tristeza de algunos, uno de nuestros últimos buceos de esta expedición. Pero con también la felicidad de que si todo sale bien, regresaremos en diciembre a esta zona. Y también, si están escuchando esta transmisión en vivo y no han podido ver todos los buceos de esta expedición, mientras vemos esta bonita anémona bastante grande, todos los buceos quedan como grabaciones en el canal del Schmidt Ocean Institute, tanto en Facebook como en YouTube. Así que si no tuvieron la oportunidad de verlo en vivo, pues no hay problema, pueden verlo en cualquier momento y pues desde cualquier dispositivo. Esto que vemos se le llama un coral hongo. Y tiene bastantes que ven como color blanco, son ofiuroideos asociados. And we're gonna keep our way exploring this area as we see a lot of rocks covered with a thin layer of sediment. That thing we see on the right to your screen, is a pyrosome, a dead pyrosome. They're usually pelagic life forms. That means that they live in the water column, but when they die, they sink. Eh, yeah. Yeah, pyrosome. It looks like the urchin is feeding on the pyrosome. So cool sighting, and also, again, pretty cool reminder on the connectivity between the water column and the seafloor. Parece que ese erizo de mar que está por ahí se está alimentando de ese organismo que vemos que es como un color morado. Y pues ese organismo se le conoce como pirosoma. Y son animales que viven en la columna de agua. Pero cuando mueren se hunden y pues eventualmente forman parte de estos ecosistemas acá y como ven pues sirven de alimento para todos los animales que viven aquí. Entonces justo mencionaba de que es un bonito recordatorio de esa conectividad que existe entre la columna de agua y el fondo marino. Así también hemos visto también otras señales de esta conectividad, tal vez de una manera más negativa, ya que hemos visto algunos rastros de basura humana. Y bueno, todo esto lo estamos registrando y esperemos que en un futuro pues podamos comunicarlo de manera sistematizada también para evidenciar que todos estos sitios, a pesar de que como ven son muy remotos, pues no se escapan del impacto de la actividad humana. Así que si tienen preguntas, comentarios, las pueden poner en el chat y por acá las estaremos leyendo. Yeah, beautiful anemone and octocoral with lots of ophiuroids. Lovely tones. And I was just mentioning in Spanish that early on this dive we saw another observation of anthropogenic pollution. Yeah. Yeah. So that's not coming from the ROV. It's just there, naturally. So yeah, yeah. What we're seeing right now, it's a very good example of what we were talking before. Marine snow. Well, we see this fish lurking around on top of the sediment in the rocks. This is a grenadier, and it has a couple of parasites that are usually crustaceans. I would say the one of the most common parasites that we can see in fishes, but also there are some worms also that we know parasite fishes, so they look like amphipods. Yeah.
Estimated that 80% of life on Earth is actually parasitic. Just a little fact for you.
Oh, what? 80% what?
Of life on Earth is parasitic.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. So cool fact from our colleague Holly Lutz that 80% of all fauna on Earth is known to be parasitic. Estimated. So cool fact there. While we see this beautiful fish displaying its behavior.
Let's keep this time. I'm a little worried about it. Yeah, I always wonder, like, what big thing did we just miss?
Yeah, do you think it's just like a cloud of like feces coming from like a big animal?
Like something that was sitting on the bottom that kicked up?
Yeah.
Okay. Tough to say. I mean, we were cruising along the abyssal plain and we would find those big ruts like dug into the earth. There's
Yeah.
stuff, you know.
Like something launched off of
There's
the,
stuff that avoids us.
yeah. Yeah, I wonder, have there ever been scientists on cruises that are sampling that with presumption and looking at eDNA? I mean, it's like totally, it's not a.
I know of ROV expeditions that have done DNA. I imagine.
Tenemos
Yeah, almost.
un par de preguntas en nuestros canales de YouTube y Facebook de qué tipo de basura humana hemos encontrado. Entonces les comento brevemente y muchísimas gracias por la pregunta. Al inicio de este buceo encontramos como una especie de un envase de plástico que parecía ser como un galón que estaba relleno, parecía como de cemento, Entonces, pues ya tenía sobrecrecimiento por encima. Y anteriormente, en otros buceos, pudimos observar latas de refresco y latas de cerveza. Así que no ha sido un hecho aislado, sino que lo hemos visto en varios de nuestros buceos, estas evidencias de contaminación humana. Lo cual pues es algo pues informativo para nosotros, ya que no solamente nos deja ver pues que efectivamente el impacto humano puede llegar hasta estas profundidades, sino que también nos deja ver qué animales crecen asociados a estos sustratos una vez que se hunden en el fondo marino. Y probablemente pues han estado acá durante miles de años, inclusive puede ser, o cientos de años, y ya pues se convierten en el hábitat para muchísimos animales. Hmm.
Oh, there's something else sitting there. This little.
So where do you get the fact?
Oh, a lot of my work is done in parasitology, so I've like reviewed the fundamental papers and contributed to book chapters and stuff.
That's cool.
You know, parasitology stuff. It's kind of like
With like 80% of the species or the biomass.
of species,
Species.
not biomass.
Not biomass. Yeah. Yeah.
The ship can definitely go faster. The issue becomes our football fields, everything sells behind us.
Yeah.
I can do it and fight it, but
Oh no, I'm not talking about you. I'm just like looking at theirs, and it's like 0.1, 0.2. Okay, of course not.
10.4, yeah. I've been watching that too. It does
Okay.
bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can go as fast as we want, but it's how fast we want to pull that
Yep.
column of vocal.
Okay. This is good.
I can push it, but then things will decrease like the quality.
Así que muchísimas gracias por las preguntas y los comentarios. De nuevo, de la manera más cordial les invito a que si tienen la pregunta que sea, por más básica que consideren, pues para nosotros es de mucha utilidad, ya que pueden haber muchas otras personas viendo la transmisión con la misma duda. Y pues nosotros también al mismo tiempo aprendemos de esas preguntas, ya que muchas veces pues no las sabemos y entonces tenemos que consultar con otros colegas acá en el barco, así que pues es un proceso de aprendizaje tanto para ustedes que nos están viendo en casa como para nosotros acá en el barco. And we had a question about the type of human pollution we have been seeing in this expedition. So, just to name a few, early in this dive, earlier we saw plastic container, and in previous dives we also saw some fishing lines and some canisters, a beer can, and also like a soda can. So yeah. And I was saying that it is important for us to have these observations of the pollution, because definitely will tell us that the human impact can reach these remote depths, but also to see and to assess the organisms that will colonize and grow associated with this objects that will come from the surface. So, great question. What was that? Well, anyway, let's keep going. Totally, yeah. So we are speeding up to try to cover as much as we can during this dive. This is one of our last dives on this expedition. So we just want to make the most out of it and try to cover as much area as we can. And I see a comment in the YouTube channel, and also just would like to clarify because our colleague here, Holly, gave us that statistic, and I had the same doubt. So the 80% fact is in relation to the species, not necessarily the biomass. So just for you to have it clear, and in case there was any doubt. We're gonna keep going here. Trying to speed up and yeah, looking for any evidence of venting or octopus around this area. Even also we're also prioritizing to see if we see any skate, which is a type of ray, or skate X. So thank you again for all your comments and questions. Keep them coming in the chat. I see a sea cucumber on your left, a galathade, white galathade, a squat lobster. The purple thing you see now is a sea urchin, and a couple more sea cucumbers. I think those are the ones, genera Panicia. And as you see, echinoderms are really, really common in here. Oh, chimera! That's a chimera! That's a chimera! That's a chimera. So what we see in here, it's a chimera. This is one of the. It's also called ghost sharks, and are the most primitive animals associated with sharks. Wow, beautiful. Can you message Bea? Oh, shit. Oh, sorry. So, esto que estamos viendo es una quimera. Es la primera quimera que vemos en este buceo y o sea, estoy demasiado emocionado porque estábamos esperando este avistamiento. Varios colegas que estamos acá que somos fanáticos de los peces. Las quimeras son animales maravillosos, están emparentados de manera muy, muy lejana con los tiburones que tenemos hoy en día. Y esto es básicamente, si lo quieren ver de esta forma, es como un fósil viviente, es un animal casi que prehistórico. Y bueno, pues voy a tratar de no hablar mucho, sino simplemente que vean este maravilloso animal. De nuevo, esto es una quimera. It's a chimera or ghost shark. The first one we see in this expedition.
I'm not sure. So up above him in the water, there's a like just right up there. There's a rat tail.
I think that's what that other one was.
Maybe. The rat tail will have.
So great moment for us. I hope you're enjoying this moment as much as I do, and everyone here in the control room. Wow. So after we get the footage, we will be double checking on the possible species for this chimera. Beautiful. Oh. Again, these green dots you see on the screen are indicating 10 centimeters length, so this is a really big chimera. Wow. Incredible. This is a great moment because they are very similar if you look at from far away to grenadiers, and in all of our dives we have been getting false alarms and saying, "Oh, chimera," but it's not a chimera. But this one, this was the one. Okay, so we're gonna keep exploring around. Yeah, that looks like no. I think that's a grenadier. Yeah, that's the thing, right? That they look so similar.
The pectoral fins are wildly different.
That's a parasite on the tail.
Yeah. So, again, exciting moment for everyone here on board. Yes, I'm out of words. I'm sorry. Yeah, man.
Whoa.
I think this means we need to go faster all the time.
Yeah, exactly. That's,
To catch them before they run away from the
yeah. Y bueno, ahí me disculpan si no se me entendió en español. De nuevo, lo que acabamos de ver fue una quimera. Este no que estamos viendo aquí ahorita es muy similar. Esto es un pez, un macrúrido, cola de rata o grenadier, que es muy parecido, pero anteriormente vimos una quimera. Así que si no la vieron, les recomiendo 100% que se devuelvan un poquito en el video y la vean, ya que pues pudimos obtener una grandiosa toma. Así que pues es lo más cercano que hemos visto a un tiburón. Definitivamente que esta zona está bastante llena de tiburones. Bueno, en este caso, parientes muy cercanos de los tiburones que conocemos de aguas someras. En este caso, pues, como les comentábamos anteriormente, hemos visto rayas de profundidad y sus huevos. Pensamos que este sitio es como una zona de crianza de este tipo de rayas. Y bueno, acabamos de ver ese quimera, que es como de nuevo un pariente lejano de los tiburones. Y ya ahorita les comento un poco más en detalle sobre lo que podría ser la especie. Muy probablemente sea del género Hydrolagus, pero ya les confirmo. No creo que sea Hydrolagus.
So the data I'm interested in is his heart rate when we saw that thing.
I'm sorry.
Did you say wow?
No, I try not to. I try not to. Yeah, it's just that every time we see a grenadier, it's like, oh, come here.
I have the same thing.
And this was,
The silhouettes aren't as similar, but this time it was real.
this time was real, yeah. So we have some reports, again from Costa Rica and Alabama, the U.S. So I hope you're enjoying this live stream. What you're watching here is live from the bottom of the Pacific Ocean in Costa Rica. So let's keep our eyes wide open as we might see more interesting observations here. Also, just to remind you, if you missed that, I think it was yesterday or the day before, we were able to see one skull of a whale. So that was pretty amazing as well. So, among many, many other things, including a lot of octopus. So, yeah, we're very, very excited for all the footage and all the observations that we have been able to get in this Octopus Odyssey Expedition.
It was right as we came down that contour, basically.
So you weren't talking about that fish, Alex? You were talking about something else?
No, I was talking about that fish. Yeah, it just looked weird. It still kind of looks weird. I don't know. No, sorry. It just caught my eye. I was like, what is it?
So we are right now exploring around this area, and seems like we reached a flat top with a highly sedimented area.
Coming up on these to see if they're anything interesting. Okay, just moving. Yeah, and we're almost there, so hopefully there's something soon.
So stay tuned as we're gonna. Wow,
Yeah, it's not a hole on the map.
that looks promising. Like
Is it
that there.
like reverse multi-beam? What is this? But you're in between the two. See? Yeah. It looks like it might go all the way down and under.
Oh,
But it's actually really
so also would like to give a special shout out and thanks to the Schmidt Ocean Institute team, especially the ones we have here in the control room, the ROV pilots Chill and Tyler, and also Alex, who is behind the scenes making everything possible. So yeah, great team, the SOI. So special thanks to them, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to have these amazing images from our deep sea in Costa Rica.
Can you come down a little bit, Jeff?
Yep.
That edge?
Sure.
Those places.
Let's just go too far.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of them actually.
Oh yeah.
I don't like that. There's
There's several ones here. I see like two, one, two, three.
we hadn't seen these at all until today, and it's not like we
S-
haven't been looking at crevices. They're definitely what? Maybe.
Is that a sponge in that little hole below the what? There's a invention right down at bottom center
Right at the
that's
bottom.
below the screen view, and it has something in it.
Oh, not a sit cam.
Yeah, I see.
This.
That thing there.
Yeah, that's a sponge. Okay. Okay. Keep moving.
That's kind of like
Yeah, I didn't think it was an arm, but I just didn't know.
yeah, it's like moving in our thruster way. It looks weird. Oh, is it a dead pirate zone?
That's kind of what I
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Tracy does.
you thought it was a octopus arm?
No, I didn't. I just
Oh.
wanted to know what it was,
Okay,
and I
okay.
didn't know if you could
Okay, okay.
look.
There's dangling guys are everywhere now, which is just weird.
It's like an old amphitheater.
This little hole.
This whole, this whole here.
Yeah.
Maybe it's where like mermaids used to have conferences.
Yeah, it's weird. It is a weird little depression right there.
Yeah. I wish we could turn this like.
Just tiny fish right there. Which one are the fishy?
We're staring at this big guy, but
Some trim just to kind of hold it.
Awesome.
Yeah, similar setup to what you gave me, just a different location.
We're going south now?
Just,
Or are we about to start going north?
I don't know what's next. We just changed
I guess-
waypoint 7.
I think so. Yeah, yeah,
We just followed
yeah, just a brief look.
Like a-
Usually can see.
yeah. Can I do a little pan here? Yeah.
We got the weird worms and sort from.
Yeah, but you get the dark there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, if you have any questions or comments about this live stream or these images we're seeing, please let us know through our Facebook or YouTube chat. We're just catching our breath back after that chimera. That was pretty, really nice. And so after we've done some double checking, we believe it might be a Hydrolagus macrophthalmus chimera. For those of you wondering about the ID. So, yeah, I hope you're enjoying, and soon I will be heading over the control of the dive lead to my colleague, Dr. Odalisca Brady. Y bueno, para los que nos están escuchando en español y viendo esta transmisión en vivo, espero que la estén disfrutando tanto como yo. La verdad es que me siento demasiado afortunado de haber estado en este momento de la transmisión y que hayamos visto la quimera, porque era parte de las cosas que más queríamos ver en esta expedición. Y bueno, pues de verdad que es asombroso todas las sorpresas y todas las cosas que vemos en estos buceos, avistamientos increíbles de animales que muchísimas veces se tienen pocos registros. Y pues nada, de verdad que para mí es un placer. Muy pronto le voy a estar cediendo el control del buceo a la doctora Odalisca Brady de la Universidad de Costa Rica, que los va a estar acompañando por la próxima hora. Okay, so I'm gonna hand it over to my colleague, Dr. Odalis Cabri from Universidad de Costa Rica. She's gonna be joining you for the next hour. So for me, it was a pleasure to join you during this last hour. Thank you very much for all your comments and questions. Again, it was a pleasure, and I hope you keep enjoying this amazing live stream. Thank you very much again. My name is Sergio Cambronero, and hopefully we'll be back tomorrow with our last dive. Yeah. Muchas gracias a todos y a todas. Sigan disfrutando de esta transmisión. Le voy a pasar el control del buceo a la doctora Odalis Cabridi de la Universidad de Costa Rica, que las va a estar acompañando por la próxima hora. Así que sigan disfrutando. Muchísimas gracias y pura vida. Sí, creo, ¿no? Yo creo que ya es el último. Sí, y realmente está ahí como tratando de evitar los fondos sedimentados, sino más como roca.
Gracias, Sergio.
Ok, por ahí, gracias.
It's nice listening to you narrate.
That was awesome, man.
And like once we get here, we're gonna go south to
Ya
like.
está pasando.
Maybe not, since these are super interesting. So, if we, yeah.
Hola a todos los que nos acompañan esta tarde, a todos los exploradores de los océanos profundos que están presentes, interesados en estas transmisiones. Gracias por acompañarnos. Estamos en el buceo número 13 del robot SuBastian. Gracias, Sergio. Es el buceo 541, número 541. Estamos en el sitio, en un monte submarino que se llama Tengosed, y ya hemos recorrido varios puntos, desde la parte más baja del monte, la parte llena de sedimentos, y empezamos a subir hacia las partes rocosas, y ahora estamos explorando estamos tratando de explorar toda la parte rocosa de este monte submarino. Hi everybody, thank you for being with us today. This is the dive 13 of the ROV SuBastian, and the number of the dive is 541. We are exploring the seamount Tengosed. We started at the base of the mountain with a sedimentary escape, and now we are going up to the rocky part of the mountain, exploring the animals, the fauna that we are having here, and we have had some interesting findings in this dive. We saw for the first time a chimera, that is a kind of fish that belong to the group of the sharks and the rays also, and it's a very prehistorical fish that has been for many years, exists for many years, and it's very interesting. And as you see it, it looks like a prehistoric organism. En este buceo hemos tenido algunos hallazgos interesantes. Ahí vemos nadando a un vamos a ver qué era. Ya se fue.
Oh, yeah.
It's gone.
Pillow lavas? Sorry, were you
Pillow
looking to
lavas,
say
wow,
this?
nice.
That's right here. It's just I'm
Ahí,
trying to look at the rock.
ahí estamos viendo esas rocas que son pillows, se les llaman almohadillas, lavas de almohadilla, y vean qué interesante la estructura que tienen, y además están cubiertas por sedimentos y también por algunos hidrosuarios y algunos otros organismos que se ven ahí como unos gusanillos blancos. Look at that.
Okay, we can keep going. Jen.
Do you need a scale of what's
No,
there?
I was just looking to see what it was.
Okay. It's a pillow lava.
Yeah, I was looking at the alteration.
Okay, this part.
Yeah.
Ujú. Y bueno, les estaba contando que vimos por primera vez una quimera, que es un pez que vive en las profundidades relacionado con los tiburones y rayas, pertenece al mismo grupo, pero es un grupo, digamos, como muy antiguo en su historia evolutiva, no ha cambiado mucho desde que apareció en la historia evolutiva. Y luego, bueno, seguimos aquí en la exploración y en estos montes, sobre estas lavas hemos visto muchos organismos muy interesantes, como 3, 4 especies de corales negros y unas 5 especies diferentes de octocorales que a su vez han sido como sustrato de otro montón de organismos que hay alrededor. También hemos visto varios tipos de esponjas. Por lo menos unas 6 especies de esponjas hemos visto durante estas horas que llevamos del buceo. We have seen a lot of interesting organisms. For example, around 6 species of sponges, 3 or 4 species of black corals, and around 4 species of octocorals, and also crustaceans and other interesting organisms. And some of them have been found just in this mountain. We haven't seen them in the others. So it is very interesting to explore this place. Por ahora nos estamos moviendo hacia otra parte del monte y por eso es que en este momento no pueden ver nada. We are moving to the other part of the mountain. We're trying to do this fast. That's why you cannot see almost anything. But we will see. Now you can see some things. For example, you see there a coral and the pillow lavas and a very interesting substrate. Sí, ahora ya como llegamos un poco cerca de las rocas, que es lo que andamos buscando, para en este último parte del buceo del submarino SuBastian, del robot, podamos explorar esta parte rocosa de la montaña. Ahí hay un camarón, ese rojito que se ve ahí arriba.
We have a question from someone who just tuned in, and they want to know how long can we actually have the ROV out at a time? And that's one of the benefits of a remotely operated vehicle versus a human-occupied vehicle, like something like Alvin. While a human presence right there has its benefits, some of the benefits of remotely operated vehicles are you don't have to worry about the human in the vehicle because there isn't one. We don't have to provide air. We don't have to worry about the comfort of a person in that submersible, or food or bathroom breaks. On the ship, we can provide those things for pilots and the scientists, and so we can keep the ROV out for quite a while. Earlier this expedition, we actually had it in for a dive that lasted over 30 hours. And the ROV is receiving power from the ship, so it cuts down on time limits greatly. Oh, there you go. J-Rod just shared that he's had an ROV in the water for about 4 weeks straight before, just passing it off shift to shift to shift.
They came out of the water for the crew change.
4 days? Never went out? 4 weeks?
But like a industry ROV.
Yeah, not Sebastian.
Okay, it's not Sebastian.
There's nothing stopping. Nothing stops Sebastian.
Okay.
Wanted to do a 4-week-long transect.
Wow. A 4 weeks collection of octocorals. Alex está contando bueno, que alguna persona está preguntando que cuál es la ventaja de tener un ROV, o sea, un robot o un submarino, como el Alvin, por ejemplo. El Alvin es un submarino en el que las personas bajan en el submarino, pero eso tiene sus riesgos. No puede estar tantas horas bajo el agua, las personas necesitan respirar, o sea, tienen que proveer el aire, las personas necesitan comer y tener otras necesidades, que todo eso hay que pensarlo cuando se baja en un submarino. En el Alvin, por ejemplo, para llegar a unos 3.000 metros, se puede durar hasta 2 o 3 horas bajando, y los buceos duran 8 horas. A las 8 horas ya usted tiene que subir, bueno, antes de 8 horas, porque dura 3 subiendo. Entonces el tiempo de fondo es mucho más corto. Y en este tipo de robots no hay ese problema, o sea, nosotros estamos viendo todo el tiempo lo que está pasando a esa profundidad, y, y así no tenemos el problema humano, pero bueno, tampoco tenemos el ojo humano ahí abajo, o sea, que podamos ver con nuestros propios ojos los organismos, sino que aquí lo vemos a través de una cámara. Pero claro, estas vistas que tenemos a través de estas cámaras son excelentes, son mejor de lo que uno puede ver cuando uno está en un submarino, porque uno tiene una ventana pequeña, tiene una pantalla pequeña, y en realidad no puede tener ese detalle. Cuando se trabaja en un submarino como el Alvin, después se chequean los videos y ahí es donde uno ya puede ver ciertos detalles, pero cuando uno está ahí, en realidad no puede ver los detalles que nosotros podemos ver aquí. Y estaba contando J-Rod que él trabajó con un submarino que pasó 4 semanas, 4 meses seguidos bajo el agua, pero era un submarino industrial, o sea, otro tipo de submarino, no SuBastian. Nosotros con SuBastian estuvimos uno de los días de buceo hasta 36 horas, trabajamos ese día continuamente. Entonces es algo que con otro tipo de submarino no se puede hacer. SuBastian can go 4,000 meters deep or 6? 4,500 meters? SuBastian?
Yeah, 4,500. Yeah, 4.5 kilometers.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah.
Make a suggestion. Go ahead and start letting yours get to that early point. We'll go through that sedimented fish land again, probably, and try to get back up on that ledge thing there. We'll just keep exploring that way until we have to come up.
Heading here, right?
Yeah, because that area had a lot more corals and sponges and stuff, so things that we might want to collect.
Extremely. All right, so they came this way right here.
Yep.
Do you want to just go beeline north or kind of follow that back?
Oh no, just be like north.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got that done.
We are here with our chief scientist, Beth Orkort, and with Holly Lutz, and also with the experienced pilots, with Tyler, with J-Rod, and with Alex in the media. We are trying to, Beth is trying to decide what part of the mountain we are going to explore now. Because as I told you before, we are looking for the rocky part. Aquí nosotros estamos compartiendo con Beth Orkort, que es nuestra científica jefe, y también con Holly Lutz, que está encargada de todas las anotaciones en este buceo, que ya es una microbióloga. Y también tenemos los experimentados pilotos que ya conocemos, a Tyler, a J-Rod y a Alex en la parte de multimedia. También tenemos con nosotros a Wendy Matamoros, que está aquí haciendo también anotaciones.
And it might get more interesting, for instance, here. So if it gets nice and ledgy, whatever rocky pool animals, like that might be a good spot for another sample. But we don't know yet, so we're gonna go over it. But we definitely saw a lot of fish coming up to it. Fishing shrimp.
Para las personas que nos están siguiendo de Latinoamérica, pueden hacer sus preguntas en español. Si tienen alguna duda, con mucho gusto aquí les contestamos. En esta expedición hay muchas personas que hablan español, portugués, francés. Entonces hay como más chances de poder contestar a todos. No tenemos las respuestas para todo, obviamente, pero de lo que cada uno de nosotros sabe podemos compartir con ustedes. Yeah, feel free if you want to make questions in Portuguese or French or Spanish, because we have people here that talk different languages, so we can answer what we know about this expedition. Aquí seguimos transitando hasta llegar a la parte más rocosa. Ahí vemos algunos peces en el camino. Aquí estamos observando algunos sedimentos, una parte muy sedimentada y algunas rocas basálticas, que es como lo que domina este ambiente submarino. Hay una estrella, un pez, corales negros.
You'll know when to do that. The ROV will start doing this.
So we've talked about the ability of the ROV to be underwater for quite a long time. We didn't talk about the depth though, so there's a question about the depth. ROV SuBastian is rated down to 4.5 kilometers, right? 4,500 meters. We have more umbilical than that on board because as we're diving, more umbilical actually gets played out than the depth we're at. There's a little slack there, so we have just shy of 6,000 meters of umbilical tether on board. What have you taken, Sebastian, to 45?
Every time we do a rebuild, we do.
Oh, there you go.
We actually did a cruise that was hanging out at 44.
Okay, so Jared said that we did have a cruise at about 44, but whenever they do a rebuild of the system, of course, you want to take it down to depth, just to make sure everything's working as it should.
Alex estaba contando que el ROV puede bajar hasta 4.5 kilómetros de profundidad. Pues está capacitado para hacer eso y Gerald estaba contando que lo han estado trabajando hasta 4.5 kilómetros de profundidad en algunas pruebas que han hecho con este ROV. Sobre la pregunta que están haciendo del pez quimera, ese pez pertenece a un grupo que se llaman orocantos, que es un grupo que se separó evolutivamente de los tiburones muy atrás en la historia. Y la persona que trabaja aquí con peces, Beatriz Naranjo, nos dice que probablemente pertenece al género Holosaurus. Pero bueno, hay que analizar más los videos para ver si de verdad está en este género. Entonces, para los que se nos han unido hace poquito, estamos en el monte submarino Tengosed, que se ha encontrado que es un sitio de recarga desde el punto de vista geológico. Este sitio, la idea con esto es hoy ha sido un museo de 16 horas para explorar esta montaña en varias partes. Esta es ya estuvimos aquí al principio de la expedición, pero decidimos volver porque es un monte muy grande y hemos recorrido una parte muy, muy pequeña de él. Entonces, estamos tratando de abarcar otras partes que no vimos antes y hacer otras investigaciones. Hay como varias cimas de este monte y la idea es como explorar esas cimas. Por eso, digamos, ahora lo que estamos haciendo es buscar una de las otras cimas de este monte para hacer una exploración ahí.
Don't go down it. Kind of ride that edge kind of thing.
Vean qué bonita se ve la estructura de la roca. Es un paisaje muy particular, un paisaje a una profundidad de 2000 metros. Here you can see this beautiful underwater settlement. You see this basalt, like square rocks that you can observe now. Ahí vemos un coral negro que ha sido muy abundante en esta zona, ese de pocas ramitas. Y vemos un montón de huellas en la roca que probablemente es de algún organismo o algún gusano marino tal vez que hacen esas marcas. También hay una anémona y hay una pluma de mar, un penatuláceo a la par del coral negro. Y más atrás vemos otro coral negro. Cada vez que se hace un acercamiento podemos ver que hay un montón de organismos. Lo que pasa es que si uno los ve como con cierta distancia, no puede observar los detalles, pero esto está lleno de vida. Ahí como ustedes lo ven, está lleno de vida. There's a crab, black corals, fish, shrimp. This is full of life. If you go closer, you can observe a lot of animals living on the rocks. There are 2 sea pens, and there are a lot of tracks of probably from worms. It was spinning. Was it spinning?
Yeah, I just thought it was good.
Una pregunta que tenemos sobre los nombres de las anémonas a esas profundidades. Bueno, son especies que que no están en la parte somera hasta donde hemos visto, pero probablemente pertenecen a las mismas familias o incluso a los mismos géneros de las que están en la parte somera. Sí, sabemos que son diferentes especies, no tenemos a ninguna persona que sepa anémonas en el barco en este momento, pero sí hemos recolectado algunas para que algunos expertos las identifiquen en algún momento y en ese momento podríamos darles algunos nombres. Como les he dicho varias veces, es muy difícil identificar cuando se está en una, digamos, en una campaña como esta, porque uno ve una gran cantidad de cosas y solo si, incluso a lo que uno está acostumbrado a trabajar, a veces uno se da sorpresas, piensa que es una cosa y cuando la saca resulta que es otra. Entonces pasa lo mismo, las anémonas incluso para identificar algunas especies hay que hacer algunos cortes histológicos para poder saber qué son. Entonces sí, podríamos sí decir algunos nombres, pero en realidad no sabemos cuáles son las que tenemos realmente aquí. Somebody was asking about the anemone, but we cannot be sure about the species. So we have to wait for a specialist in the field to identify them. Anemones, most of the time you have to do histological sections in order to know the species that we have in each place. Probably some of the families or genera that we have at these depths probably are the same that we have in the shallow, but I'm pretty sure that they are different species. Okay, now we are close to we are about the top. Are we at the top of the mountain?
We're just following this ridge to the north.
Okay. We are in the north ridge of the mountain and we have there a lot of octocorals. We can observe the different colonies there. Ahora estamos como en el borde norte del monte y ahí podemos ver unas esponjas y también varios octocorales que los hemos visto a través de todo este buceo. Y otros organismos también que están ahí asociados a ellos o que están viviendo en la piedra o en las fisuras de las piedras. Entonces nos estamos moviendo hacia el último punto que vamos a explorar en este buceo. Y si, bueno, en este momento si vemos alguna de las especies de interés, probablemente vamos a parar a recolectarlas. Ahí podemos ver varios octocorales, algunos que forman unas colonias muy grandes, erectas, y otros que son simplemente como un pólipo que sale del substrato, y estrellas y otras esponjas. Es importante saber que de estos organismos de las profundidades sabemos muy poco sobre su historia natural, y en realidad porque es muy difícil estudiar a estas profundidades, pero por lo menos conocer, digamos, las especies que hay, y ya es como un aporte a conocer la biodiversidad, y eso es de lo que se trata, digamos, estas expediciones también, de recolectar las muestras, de ver un poco el ambiente, describir las condiciones del ambiente donde viven y poder tener un poco sobre la historia natural de estos organismos. En realidad, estas 3 semanas de la expedición que hemos pasado es el principio de todo, es el principio de varios años probablemente de investigaciones, y probablemente estas investigaciones se van a presentar en artículos científicos, y también se van a presentar en artículos de divulgación, videos, etcétera. Pero esto es apenas el principio. Sobre una pregunta que tenemos ahí sobre digamos, qué tan profundo se han registrado las anémonas, o sea, que vivan las anémonas. En realidad, con estos estudios es que nosotros podemos saber eso, porque hay muy poca información, como les estoy diciendo, sobre la historia natural de estos organismos. Digamos, nosotros las hemos observado, por ejemplo, hasta unos 3.000 metros de profundidad, pero pueden ir más profundo. Eso no, de ahí habría que ver si está registrado o no, pero digamos que nosotros, digamos, las hayamos visto, sí, como hemos visto anémonas a 3.000 metros y todavía un poquito más profundo. Son organismos muy resistentes, probablemente pueden llegar más abajo. Ahí tenemos un pepino de mar y otros octocorales y un cangrejo. Vean qué bonitas se ven la estructura de las piedras, de estas basaltos. Y vean que estos corales donde son más abundantes es como donde hay un poco más de substrato expuesto, ya que cuando ellos se reproducen, sus larvas buscan un sustrato más o menos expuesto, o sea, limpio, para poder asentarse, y aquí hay mucho sedimento, entonces buscan como las rocas que estén más limpias. Vamos a ver si en algún momento volvemos a ver una quimera, que fue como una de las cosas más importantes que vimos en este buceo. Ahí vemos esos amarillos que son probablemente crinoideos pedunculados. Claro, a esta distancia también es un poco difícil diferenciarlos, diferenciar lo que estamos viendo, pero como les dije, nos estamos moviendo hacia a darle como la vuelta al monte submarino para explorar otro sitio de interés, que es el último punto de este buceo. Ven aquí cómo cambia el sustrato. Ahora ya no tenemos como esas lajas que teníamos antes, sino que tenemos unas lavas más globulares, ahí como distribuidas, y otras rocas un poquito más grandes. Pero ven que es como diferente a lo que estábamos viendo antes. Es una de las cosas que se hace en esta expedición, que hay un grupo de hidrogeólogos y una geóloga que son los que están viendo toda esta parte del fondo, digamos, de como del sitio, o sea, el basamento del sitio. Muy bien, estamos a 2000 metros de profundidad con una temperatura de 2 grados más o menos, y viendo estos corales que hay en este sitio del monte Tengosed.
She said for us just to come north until we get to this ridge right here. And then we're gonna follow the-
there, we can see something. Okay.
and we're just trying to find hot spots of sonar as we work our way there.
Okay. los que se ven ahí. Esos corales que, sobre una pregunta que nos hacen, esos corales que vemos ahí, que son como unas ramitas blancas, unos que son muy ramificados. Hay unos que pertenecen a un grupo que se llama primnoides, que es un grupo de octocorales que viven, que son abundantes a estas profundidades. También hay otros grupos que, digamos, hemos visto algunos que pertenecen al grupo, a la familia Plexauridae también, como el género Swiftia, y también hemos visto algunos en el grupo de los que se llaman corales bambú, que hay varias familias, una de las familias es Isididae y algunos que hemos visto en esa familia. Y también lo que vemos aquí son esos tubos grandes blancos, esos son esponjas de cristal, que esos pertenecen a otro filum, ¿verdad? Diferente. Los corales pertenecen al filum Nidaria, igual que las anémonas y las estrellas de mar, y las anémonas y me olvidó el nombre de esos. Anémonas y medusas. Fue el nombre de las medusas. Anémonas y medusas pertenecen a este mismo grupo, pero es un grupo, digamos, por ejemplo, este que estamos viendo es uno que pertenece a esos que les dicen corales bambú. Ese que estamos viendo en ese momento, que son muy, muy grandes, llegan a ser muy grandes. Ahí vemos otro octocoral que se está en la parte de la esponja, y ese es otro grupo de octocoralia que no tienen, digamos, no tienen un eje como los otros que se levantan, sino que son más suaves, y ese pertenece a un género que se llama Antomastus, por lo menos a la familia. Habría que analizar bien el espécimen una vez que se recolecte para poder saber qué especie es. Pero más o menos esos son como muy abundantes. Los octocorales, junto con los corales negros, que también hemos visto varios aquí, son los que hacen la forma 3D del fondo, y por eso hacen una estructura a la que pueden llegar otros organismos a vivir. Si no, eso sería muy plano y no habría como mucho lugar donde agarrarse. Ustedes han visto cómo hay de estrellas quebradizas asociadas a estos octocorales, por ejemplo, y otros organismos. Sí, los corales pueden llegar hasta 6.000 metros de profundidad, es como el récord más profundo que hay. Estos corales son capaces de vivir a grandes profundidades, especialmente porque, a diferencia de los corales, por ejemplo, del Caribe, que viven en ambientes someros, ellos no tienen relación con zooxantelas, o sea que no necesitan, es decir, con algas, no necesitan la luz del sol, entonces pueden vivir a estas profundidades y no tienen ninguna relación con ninguna alga. Y ahora estamos haciendo un cambio de pilotos, porque esto siempre se hace como cada hora o cada 2 horas, porque para ellos es muy cansado estar dirigiendo la operación. Realmente tienen que estar cambiando, y ahora vino Mike en lugar de Tyler. ¿Cómo? Wow, no sé qué. Bueno, pensé que me estaba preguntando otra cosa. Fue este fuerte que dijo, ¿en qué parte? Ok. Bueno, estamos grabando desde los montes submarinos a 150 kilómetros de distancia de la costa pacífica de Costa Rica, específicamente del Golfo de Nicoya. Entonces, sí, toda esta expedición es a los montes submarinos que tenemos aquí, que había habido una expedición en el 2014 donde habían hecho una batimetría y habían descubierto que habían sitios muy interesantes aquí, y por eso fue que se organizó esta expedición y se volvió a este lugar, y ahora se está explorando con detalle ir recogiendo muestras para poder caracterizar estos montes submarinos de Costa Rica.
What happened there?
Very nice. Everything that you wanted is there. Did you eat?
Yeah, I did. I even had ice cream.
Bueno, yo ya ahora los dejo por ahora. Espero que mañana se conecten a nuestro último buceo de esta expedición. Y los dejo con la jefe científica de esta expedición, Beth Orcutt. Y bueno, que tengan buenas noches a los que están de noche en este momento del mundo. Bye everybody, thank you for being with us in this hour. I leave you with Bert Orcutt, who is the chief scientist of this expedition. She will be with you for the next hour, and hope that you come to follow us tomorrow. That will be our last dive of the expedition.
So hopefully we'll find one in the last little bit. We've seen some really cool stuff.
They're usually pink. Is that the?
This is not pink.
Okay.
This is yellow.
Yeah, okay.
Just in case you see it.
Is it a price support?
It's a chrysoberyl. Maybe Tuarela, but it's in the group. It's a chrysoberyl. But maybe they just in case you see it.
That looks like a little warthog.
It does.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Got a long snout though. Okay, I'm out. You good? Or do you want me to do my last 2 minutes?
What are we thinking?
Where are we? Are we on?
Just at this ridge, that's a way down, so we drop off, so we want to come down and sort of leap
Yeah,
back on it.
I think so.
My name is literally baby blue or light blue.
I'll just start on all right with that. You know, fiddle around right here. Yeah.
When before we came up over this ledge, was it rocky? Was it sediment?
And there was a good, you mean just on the transit we just did there?
No, like just in the last 5 minutes.
We could take another quick look at it if you want.
Yeah, just because I.
I think most of it just set down, so. Yeah. It's another hanging one. You know what she's on, right? Yeah, so back up and see what.
Yeah, just have a
areas on
pop
top.
up and look.
Yeah. That one, right?
So I'm trying to figure out if
It
there's
was
a.
quite rocky.
Yeah.
Suits us to let the vessels catch up with us a little bit anyway. So.
Yeah, and we can fly away from the wall a little bit too, just so we can see a little further. Oh, yeah, okay, that's probably the problem. Okay, so still pretty rocky, but not that ledge, at least. Yeah, so maybe while we're waiting for the ship to catch up, we can actually just fly along the top for a little bit, because I'm wondering if we'll have better luck seeing octopus like in depressions here than on the cliff face, since
Sure.
all of the cliff faces we've seen so far, we didn't see any.
How about you just come up this sort of direction, head up this hill.
Yeah. Do you mind if I change the camera angle a little bit? Oh yeah, weird.
He's on like a stalk.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's a good shot. We should get a little zoom of that.
There we go. Oh, very nice.
Yeah, he's just like,
That is actually hilarious.
nice.
A little bit different one than we've seen.
I wonder what his little tube feet are on. Yep.
Yeah, he's you can see there's another stalk behind him. So there's the sponge down on the ground, and then there's a stalk running up into that leftmost leg, if you want to call it. But just a fun sight.
Do you want to skirt around this or anything like that?
Yeah, I think this is good for the moment, just to see if there's any little hidey holes that there might be some octopus in. Since they didn't seem to like the cliff face as much.
Yeah. Might have been a sponge, but
Yeah.
orange.
Yep.
Yeah, no, very close to color, right?
One moment. This coral right here is one we might want to sample.
Okay. And just figure it out.
Sorry, I'll wait till you're done.
Yeah. Try it because it kind of lays up here, I think.
Yeah, we can also swing around if this isn't a good spot.
Yeah, I'm just looking for a way to land this. No, just really
So we are on the lookout for octopus, of course. We have seen two on this dive already, but they didn't. They weren't really doing what we were hoping to see.
Yeah, right.
We're looking
It's like
for
just a little
sort of a
smudge.
garden situation like we see at Dorado, where the octopus are all brooding in hydrothermal flow. So we're keeping an eye out for either shimmering water or brooding octopus, or both.
Oh, there's a little worm. Back out real quick on the camera. See that little worm? Yeah. So we'll just wait here for a moment to get confirmation if this is the coral species we're waiting on.
That's all. That's all.
It's all right.
No way he does.
Getting our eyeballs. He's doing it himself. Open the quiver.
Cool. See you later.
Nailed it. Market indeed.
If only all the samples were that easy.
Yeah. I like this little crab in my coral though.
Yeah. Yeah, let's take some highlights of the polyps here. Okay, apparently this is not the coral we want. So while it's very beautiful, okay,
It's not the one.
we can go ahead and hop up again, keep moving.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm quiet. I'm trying to get out the instructions for what we're doing after this dive is over.
Okay.
Rich, we're back on the move again, but at that slower pace from before. Thank you.
Oh, that might be 1 second. If we can just hold here so I can look at something.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's something else. Okay, yes, this yellow one is what we want to kind of collect, if that's possible.
All right, just gonna set down for this collection.
Yes, 7 is available. Oh, there's a skate egg.
Just everywhere.
Just every now and then.
Thing is for as many as for as many eggs as we've seen, we've only seen like 2 skates, and not even on this dive.
No, you're right. We didn't see them. We saw them on the last dive at Tengosed, but not this one.
Yeah.
First.
Mm-hmm. Seven.
You just line with the torch out in the jump. Yeah, sure. That works good. Oh, must be thrust on a lot. Yeah. I'm getting pulled a little bit by the vessel. Yeah. I'll take this.
Are we able to move ourselves onto the porch just so we can actually get some images of the coral before we take it? Is that possible? Yeah, that's great. Thank you. And can we get the lasers on, please?
Lasers are on.
There they are. Highlight, please, Tim. Okay, and then let me just get a close-up. Come back out just a little bit. Is possible to help focus that? Okay. Highlight please, Tim. Okay, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and try to collect that. And you can just cut down at the base. Oh, wait. Sorry. Abort. I was wondering. I thought that looked like a black coral. Okay, that is not what we want. Wow. Okay. It's okay now. Yes, we can do it. It's not what we were thinking it was, but it is still interesting because we don't have yet a specimen of this. So we were looking for a species of Chrysogorgia, which is a type of octocoral. This is a black coral, but it is still something that's not in the collection. Yep, try that. Yeah, you don't need to necessarily cut it. Plucking it is fine. Okay. You got it. Thank you for that collection. Again, all the specimens that we're collecting on this expedition are going to be archived at the Museum of Zoology at the University of Costa Rica in San Jose, Costa Rica. And we have coral specialists from that group out here with us, helping us determine what to sample. Okay, you can come off bottom when you're ready. We're currently at a little over 2,000 meters here on Tengosed Seamount in the Pacific Ocean offshore Costa Rica. There's a question in the chat about what the pressure is here. So pressure increases by roughly 1 atmosphere for every 10 meters of water. So it is about 203 atmospheres down here. For anybody that doesn't think about pressure in atmospheres, that's roughly about 3,000 pounds per square inch of pressure. Yeah. There's several different black coral here. Seen a lot of black coral on this dive today. They're the ones that kind of look like feathers up on the top of the rock. All right. Okay. Which way are we going? Yeah, we'll keep swinging around kind of to the northwest. Okay. Come on. Where is an octopus? How's the current feel here?
I feel it blowing a little bit.
Okay. Not too strong.
Not too strong. So what do you come down more towards the ridge, least place sediment you this bit?
Yeah, I think it'll pick back up once we. But yeah, you could maybe lead more northwest instead of north.
Okay.
We'll see where that gets us.
Yeah, head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go across the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You can go up instead of around the contour.
Okay.
Got a question about deep sea fish, particularly these ones that we've been seeing. Do they actually see anything, or is it just complete darkness all the time? It's darkness as far as sunlight goes. That doesn't penetrate down this far, but bioluminescence is something that they would definitely be seeing if we weren't here. So all sorts of organisms down here have bioluminescence, and it's used for finding mates or attracting prey or distracting predators to not become prey. So these fish would be looking for that. As far as other sensory organs go, you might notice that a lot of these fish kind of have like little barbs under their chin, or on the tripod fish, for example, some of them have really long little hair-like spine protrusions that go up above their head, where they might be feeling in the current.
Octopus.
Ooh, octo.
We want to try to get a good look at that and potentially sample it if we can, if possible. That's the most exposed one we've seen on the dive.
But yeah, as mentioned, there are other senses. Some of the animals can sense bioelectrical signals. Skates would be able to do that, for example, where they can actually sense the electrical field generated by other living organisms. And then a lot of these animals can kind of taste or smell in the water. Octopus being an example of that. The sucker discs on an octopus are actually chemoreceptive, so they can kind of taste around with those.
Yeah, I don't know how easy this is going to be.
Definitely step a little closer when it comes to taking temperatures, but we can drop down the tank.
So like, see that rock you're on? If you just came off of it right behind and went in that pocket, we'd get a better shot. But then our reach is going to be
that's what
really
we're
far.
trying to give the toss up between getting a visual and.
Yeah.
I mean, I think now that I'm down here, I would have to come a bit further, closer to you. A bit of a stretch here, a little over there.
Oh, they have young.
There's a baby! A baby!
Oh.
Oh my gosh! You gotta control the camera there, Mike. There you go. Wow.
They're on. Yeah.
Close now.
Okay.
Away it goes.
I don't know. Oh, there's an octopus under there.
Can't see it there.
Okay, we can go back and look at the mom. Well, that was a surprise.
Well, we know that she's brooding.
Okay. What do we think here? Are we in a position to try, or do we need to reposition, or is this not at all feasible?
I'm always willing to try, but it definitely looks like that spot is about the size of the
Yeah,
the
net.
The net, and it, plus you've seen how they hold on.
Yep.
I'll give it a try if you want, but I think it's gonna be difficult. And just so everybody knows, when this auto is lit, it's in manual focus.
Yeah, so I flick the back there
All right,
and put it in a little, try to get that thing focused with moving off.
it's in manual now. There you go.
Yeah.
Why is it like that?
Because every time it reboots, it goes to that default.
Yeah, let's go ahead and just bring the net out and see if it's even gonna get in there.
Um, enough to-
And are you gonna use the port or the starboard side?
I'm going to use the starboard side.
Okay. a shot of the baby? Okay, awesome.
We're gonna have to slide across a little bit. Your reach. I think I can ram in a bit.
So for our audience at home, part of the reason we're interested in collecting this specimen of octopus is that we're very interested in studying the kind of population biology of cephalopods in this area. Another seamount in this region has a lot of octopus that brood their eggs in warmer waters. And we're trying to understand if octopus that we observe in colder temperatures are the same, if they have similar microbiomes, similar biology. And the only way to understand that is by collecting specimens. Again, these specimens will be archived at the Museum of Zoology. We already know that this octopus is brooding. We saw a baby octopus come out from this hole not too long ago. Oh, there's another baby. There are eggs. There goes a baby coming up into the water column.
This looks like the putative second species we found yesterday, or 2 days ago. Yesterday.
Oh, different type, perhaps.
It's a different type of moose octopus. You can see the mantle is much smaller and the legs are longer.
Yep.
And it was in a different brooding position. Seems from the
Firebox too.
Yeah, Biobox 2. I don't know if I need to bring the camera back. I know. So yeah. So we've seen at least 2 baby octopus come out of that hole since we've been here, and decently sized.
Kind of hoping I can keep my. Yeah, definitely catch it. Stick it.
Yeah, the arm's already sticking to the bio box.
Beth, any interest in keeping this net and just getting him alone in there?
We don't necessarily need to keep the net. So if it's easier to leave the net in the box, that's fine. Especially because we're close to the end of the dive.
We don't need ink in the deep sea to answer some of those questions.
Yeah, I had a question about these octopus inking. And as we discussed earlier, it's real dark down here, right? There's no light. So the ink wouldn't really work the way it would in shallower water. There are some cephalopods that have bioluminescent ink, but I see that more in deep water squid. I'm not sure about an octopus having it at all.
No, I don't think that's documented.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
These octopus brooding mothers are often try not to escape because they are typically trying to protect their eggs. One of the things we'll be looking for as we wait here is if there are any predators that come in to try to get at the remaining eggs. We've seen that several times at other dives.
right. And we'll want to spend some more time looking at the eggs if we can. Do we need to put the scoop back?
Oh yeah, thanks.
Yep. See a shrimp will be going in there.
All right. Yeah, we'll want to have a look at that.
Nat did want some gradation shots, but I don't know if now's the time.
This isn't going to be a great shot just because we can't actually see the eggs very well.
That could come out with a baby or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little shrimp this time. Bigger one. Well, that's a big little bit. Maybe an ice pod.
I know it's not the shot you guys want probably, but I could use the T4 camera and the light and try and get up underneath there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to get more like that.
Yeah, line or just a view.
One abdominal touch.
The light's up in this kind of more than anything, huh?
Is that next one?
No.
I'm going to come wide on this for a second to ask a question. Any chance to get the suction hose under there?
This is tough. One thing we can also do is crack that rock. Something just to think about.
Yeah. What time do we need to come offline?
Feet up.
So probably like 15 or something.
Yeah. 15 after 7?
Probably pushing a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay.
Why is it so low on? I have no. I've got high pressure. No, slow it is.
Can we just suck that sediment out?
Yeah, it was doing that even before. I assumed he was using a bunch of thrust, but when I was moving around, it was.
When you try and scooch over the port a little bit.
Kick it on. That's
Oh, yeah.
What are we in now?
Number 2.
Not suction first.
So start off on the same going.
Like that, and not like that.
So you start coming here, it starts slowing it down. That's nice, huh?
Wow.
So it's not on that, not on that rock.
There we go, 2.
Slow it down a little bit.
Yeah.
There they are. It looks like
Don't turn it off, you're going just a little bit. Yeah, we know about it.
Okay, okay.
Do you want the index?
That's up to her.
Index. Or
Do you want to just keep them in there and keep trying to get them, or?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, it seems very useful.
I mean, they're just gonna be slammed up against that spring while he tries to get other ones.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
do you want that?
No, this is good.
Over here.
Yeah.
We can subsequently hit that coil.
The little cup.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we can try.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
We're gonna try to get a different sample.
Cool. Okay, so I can.
Yeah, we'll
Move the
change.
carousel.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
move the carousel.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh, no, what are we doing now?
We're gonna get this little cup coral that's attached to that.
I need some video first.
Yeah. Can we get the lasers on, please? Okay. Tim, can you take a highlight? Ah. Another one? Yeah.
That's great.
Okay. All right. Let's try to collect that. there it is.
One of them just hatched right now.
Yep.
That's it. That's all right.
Not the best view. Sorry. I think we lost it.
Nah, he was gonna go back into it anyway.
All right, so that's the third baby we've seen. Come on down.
Or one, just keep that one separate. Index again on the.
Yeah, we can go ahead and index again. All right.
Oh, yeah.
So still not a lot of predators showing up here like we've seen at other sites where we saw cutthroat eels come in quite quickly to try to take advantage of the mother being off of her eggs. Okay, we can stow the slurp and come off, have another look around, see what else we see. Thanks for that.
Yeah, we've got a little more time on the bottom here, so we're gonna take a look around.
Is the other one behind yours that?
Yeah, that actually crunched out the map. Yeah.
So now we're getting back into this kind of crusty looking block material, leaving behind some of the basalts that we have been seeing. Still coming up slope here.
Did you just take it off?
I turned it off and then you turned it back on.
Sorry, I thought I was turning it off.
I know you were.
I had a question about the materials of the manipulators. So the one we've been seeing is the Schilling T4, Titan 4. It's mostly titanium. I don't know what the model on the other one is now that I think about it. Oh, they're both T4s? Perfect, okay.
The only difference right now is the jaws.
Yeah, that's in my head. I pictured the jaws. I was like, no, those are different. But that's just a part you can kind of modify there.
What is that?
Yeah,
That's a
and
crab.
the parallel jaws like we have in the port arm or the intermeshing that we have with the starboard.
Cool. And this comes up, and I like this. I was just looking up more about the shilling. So we talked about the depth rating for Sebastian. It's 4,500 meters. That's just the depth rating of the, I don't want to say weakest link, because it's all super strong stuff. But there are parts on the ROV that are rated to be deeper depths than that. But because they're part of the whole system, the system's limited. So it looks like that manipulator could operate down to 7 kilometers.
Updated waypoint bridge.
Updated waypoint.
Can we move the nav screen so I can see what's coming? Okay. Let's come back towards that contour
Yeah.
where it gets a little steeper. Just because when we get up into this blocky material, it's not quite the fauna we're looking for.
Yeah, I know. It's like machine.
Yeah, it looks like a thing you'd park your car on, a little curb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very strange.
There's been some really interesting terrain, for sure.
Probably.
You want to do 10?
Sure. Yeah, we'll come up bottom at 7:15.
Okay.
So,
It's like a tree.
Yeah. It's got a trunk for sure. J-Rod throwing in some facts there. So while the manipulator by itself could operate to 7 kilometers, the one on starboard has a camera, and the camera would limit that to 5 kilometers. So that kind of brings us back to what we were saying with the ROV. Our depth is limited by whatever the shallowest depth anything on there can operate at. Or whatever item's deepest depth is the shallowest. Kind of a weird way to put it.
so one of the interesting things that I've seen on this dive today is some of the xenophytophores that we've seen aren't all brown and covered in sediment. They're white. I'm not sure why that is. Ooh, Tyler hopping back in. Woohoo! Not to say I wasn't happy with chill. Just like Fun times on the shift change. We're trying to come back over to where it's steeper. We're in this blocky material again. And I want to try to get back over to the other side to actually see if there's some pillows that we could try to pick up in the last few minutes we have left. Hey Matt. I'm trying to get us back over to some rocks. Which might be helpful for the camera thing. Not these kind, like real rocks. These are
These rocks.
they're not rocks. If you smush them, they're just mud.
Yeah, that's just not what we want.
Yeah, there we go. We've got a ledge coming up here. So once we fly over this, we'll want to kind of turn around and look back at it. Lots more coral and other filter feeding organisms over here. It's a really lovely view. They're really just right there at the top. With all this rubble, they're not down there.
Work our way down as far as looking at.
No, we don't actually need to just keep going down. I just wanted to get over here, so
Kind of just stay near the top level. Sort of skirt along this line, heading up to the north. We don't want to come down too far because obviously our north is going to be
right.
coming down over that crest. Just come up to where you can kind of see the top.
Yeah, exactly. And I can also pan up a little bit.
You can see
I
the
can
top.
get.
Yep.
Then she'll be able to run up underneath any overhangs and stuff.
Cool.
And we don't need to get super close. Like, this is a pretty good distance.
So I think it's sort of shot out a little bit, so we just turn around and kind of weak into where we're going a little bit. We can come up over that just a little step.
Oh, you're here. I would look back over this way. I didn't see you. We need to be sitting?
Yeah, just like to you just sort of looking towards the box.
Okay. A request.
Yeah.
We're gonna do some lighting testing. If we could just kind of come in closer and stay stationary. Either you can put the ram out and just push against something, that's fine. And then we're gonna try turning different lights on and off. Any old spot will do. How about have a beautiful coral in the frame? Whatever.
Pushing ahead as you are and wait for it to find something to react with.
And I'll try to get your basket straightened up. And Tim, you can probably stop. You don't need to keep logging this now. I'll be logging this part.
I'll take like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just to test each light.
That's about as much time as we have. So.
Just you.
Just if it's not that's fine. That's great.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of to see what each like pairing looks like individually.
Okay,
And
so
draw a screen graph of each.
I'll take 3 of these off, and then we're only really using the outer graphics and the mids at the moment.
Could we just do like them one by one?
Yeah.
That's alright. And then I can write down which.
Okay. So the other ones we're just using for our bullet and stuff, so they don't affect the picture.
So.
I can log it, Nat.
Thanks.
Yeah, so this 3 will always have on, well, maybe not per se, but
That's always on.
these 2 definitely are always on.
All right, just sit back there. We're gonna spend a couple minutes playing with some lights and cameras. Just figuring out all of our settings. And we'll be off the bottom after that, I believe. I don't think we're doing blue water today on the ascent, so apologies for all our blue water fans there. But we're just going to be messing with some settings here for a while, so enjoy the scenery, and maybe we can get a couple questions in if any pop in, and we'll be sure to do a little sign off as we leave the bottom as well.
These off and then mids on. That's a bolt on usually.
Yeah, we appreciate everyone who came along and explored with us today. Saw some interesting stuff for sure. I know, I know for Sergio, at the very least, the Chimera was quite the highlight for him. But it seemed like a lot of folks around the ship really enjoyed that. And we do have one more dive planned for this expedition. That'll be tomorrow. I believe we are returning to Dorado, if I understand it, which, if you tuned in for other dives in this expedition, Dorado does have the octopus garden there, a brooding ground for octopus. I had a question about whether or not our cameras would pick up bioluminescence. Not like your standard bioluminescence, no. I know ROVs in the past have been fitted with cameras that can pick up really the small little bits. And there are... I'm trying to think of the squid. There's a squid that we can see the bioluminescence on with our cameras, but it's mostly because it's the largest bioluminescent organ in the world. And that's the Dana octopus squid. Or Dana. I don't know. Never actually heard it said out loud.
Depending if it was far away, maybe have lots of uppers, possibly the mids on as well, because the mids gives a sort of nice middle range for most things. So that's just the uppers and the flood zone. I'll let us see far away, but obviously you can see from this picture that flood tables are garden.
Yeah, with camera trickery, we could see bioluminescence, but unfortunately, it's not going to work as well as we would hope, I don't think, at this time.
Most of the lights we've got are pairs, except that intertraffic, so that's only because you're on so usually when you have two of them, it tends to be matching pairs of lights all over.
They're not matched directly from one side to the other side.
No, it would just be uniform. I mean, it would be possible that you could change them around to suit, I suppose.
Perfect, thank you so much. Yeah?
All right, sounds like we're going to be grabbing one more sample here before we head up. Just grabbing a rock before we leave bottom.
Nice. Yeah, no worries.
Target this time with lasers on it.
Yeah, let me just get a quick zoom and log it real quick. Is the autofocus not working?
Press the button for it. There you go.
Okay, 1 second. Oops. Okay, go ahead.
An interesting question about measuring the temperature of the animals here. For the invertebrates we've been working with, I think we're just assuming that they're at the ambient temperature. These are cold-blooded animals.
You still want this one?
Nope.
Nope.
Well, I say that.
And you can
Let's
see
go
that
ahead
the
and put it
water
in
here.
B. Open? Yeah, B is open.
Take your comma and
Yeah. And
so yeah, so what one?
B.
B.
So yeah, many of these animals are just the temperature of the water surrounding them, and so throughout the dive, we of course log any observations. We also log samples, and that logger that we're using actually, notes down the depth we're at, the temperature of the water, all the instrumentation from the ROV. And so you can see from the lower left there that the water here is actually currently 2.11 degrees Celsius.
Yeah. There's also a tipping point. Just one. You take your comma back out until like that.
I don't know what time it is. Sorry, I probably should be telling you to do something here. Let's go for the one that my lasers are on. That might have a coral attached to it. And we'll put that in BioBox 3B, and then we're done.
Alright. Now, portion out.
Keep your comma in. Is your comma all the way in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sick. Is that right? Switch this off.
Yeah.
Alright.
Keep going some more of the approach.
Come in.
No, out more, yeah. I think we get it open there. Just keep going out there. See,
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
I don't think you'll get it open there. Yeah.
Alright.
But yeah,
Oops.
Okay.
Have to put the water on it. I don't even know why the ducks in it.
Let me put that. All right. And then we're done. And go ahead and come off bottom. So as we've seen at other seamounts here, often these rocks that look like basalts, look like lava, are actually a mineral crust, a black mineral crust on the outside of a softer ooze. And we're very interested in the age of these hardened sediments. We have a sedimentologist on board who's an expert in nanofossils and other types of fossil material, and will help us date those materials. So we're coming up just shy of 2,000 meters. Go another hour or so, maybe 2 hours before we're on deck with these samples. The scientists will begin processing those samples. We expect to be back in the water tomorrow morning, Costa Rica time, for our final dive of this expedition. We will be returning to the Dorado outcrop to see a part of the outcrop that we haven't been to yet on this expedition, to see what it looks like. Previously, octopus were observed at that site, but in a lower density. So we'll be interested to see what their densities are like this time, as the densities at places we've visited so far on this expedition have been higher than what was seen about 10 years ago. And should be on bottom tomorrow around 7 a.m. Costa Rica time, UTC -6. And hope you can tune in. And that's it for me today. Jorge, would you like to say anything?
Buenas noches, Jorge Cortés de la Universidad de Costa Rica. Nos despedimos por el día de hoy. Ya empezó nuestro ascenso. Vamos por 1984 metros de profundidad. Y va a tomar un par de horas llegar a la superficie. Y una vez en la superficie, todo el grupo científico empieza a procesar muestras. Que tenemos una buena colección el día de hoy en este lugar interesantísimo. Y just to answer some there are questions about salinity. Salinity is pretty stable down here, as you see there, 34.64, and it doesn't change that much. Bueno, buenas noches. Mañana va a ser nuestra última inmersión. Me parece increíble lo rápido que pasó el tiempo. Y ya después de mañana empezamos a alistar todo para regresar a Punta Arenas, donde tendremos una actividad con visitantes de gobierno y de universidades para que conozcan este maravilloso barco. Nos gustaría que todo el mundo pudiera venir a visitarlo, pero hay limitación de cuánta gente podemos traer a bordo. Pero si van a Punta Arenas el 21, 22 y va a estar ahí varios días el barco, van a poder verlo desde la punta. El barco lo estaciona cerca de la punta. Muchas gracias, hasta luego.